Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Palisa M and this is my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back to watch yet another video. Today's video is all about weddings, marriage, love, relationships, specifically mine. We're celebrating our 5th wedding anniversary, and I asked on Instagram that she send in questions to ask the M's. And by the M's, I mean it was supposed to be my husband and I, but due to an emergency call at work, my husband could not be here to film this, so I'm going to be filming it by myself. I apologize, and hopefully we'll get to do it some other time. I've got all the questions on my phone, so I will be looking down just to see the questions. I'm nervous about some of these questions because y'all are so nosy, but I'm also quite excited. I just like to say that I am in no way an expert on marriage and relationships and love and sex or whatever I answer the questions about. This is from personal experience, from reading, from what I've talked about with friends as well. So don't read too much into it. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the questions. First question is, what's the best thing marriage has taught you? The best thing marriage has taught me, I think, would be patience, but also I think empathy, to have empathy towards the next person. Do you think your love has inspired friends to get married as well? I'm not so sure about inspiring friends to get married as well, but I know we've surrounded ourselves with a lot of young couples. Like, it's different couples, but I think we take like certain aspects of what you see when we're all together and you learn from it, and obviously you get inspired by it to say, wow, this is beautiful or this is wonderful. And because of that, I've learned to appreciate certain aspects of other people's marriages. But maybe also there are friends who have learned or appreciated or are inspired by some of the things that they see in our marriage. Your favorite part of marriage? Favorite part of marriage would be having someone to wake up to every morning. I am a talker. If my husband were here, he would tell you I am a talker. I want to tell you I got a hole in my sock, and I want to tell you I've got a pimple on my back, or my back is sore. Like, I'm a talker. I like to tell things. I was thinking of doing this in the house, and so my favorite part about marriage is waking up and having someone to tell these things to, someone to talk to, someone to be crazy to, that is the best part of marriage, is always having someone there. I could be having car troubles and I know I can call my husband and cry about it, or someone could do something to me at work and I know I've got somebody to get home to and vent to, like, it's so that is the best part, because I've got a constant person there, and that is the best part about marriage for me. When did you know he was the one? When he drove 9 hours from Bloemfontein to Mpumalanga just to come say hello, give me a hug and a kiss, and he drove back. There was no off, there was nothing. I was in my hometown, my parents were there, my parents were pretty strict, and I couldn't sleep out or whatever. And this guy literally just came to say hello and check on me during December holidays. But I tell the story in the How I Met My Husband video. That snippet is in that video. Biggest highlight, I wouldn't say there's a biggest highlights, because they are like small victories along the way, but the highlights would be for us achieving the things that we speak about on the daily. Like, we're constantly talking about, listen baby, we need to do this. Like, for example, we wanted to buy a house, okay, then we wanted to buy this, or we wanted to do that, we want to travel, we want to do, so every time we get to do one of those things, I think it's a highlight of a marriage. Also, big highlight, we've been married for 5 years and we're still together. Yay! What to consider in a marriage partner while dating? It is different for every person. It came different for me. The fact that my husband is different to any of the guys that I've ever dated was not a red flag, but let's say a green flag. It was like, to me, hi, there's a difference here. And then we started dating, and I realized that this guy is super affectionate, and for me, I'm not used to affection. I wasn't used to affection, so that was also another green light to say, hey, ding ding, look at this. Another thing was how expressive my husband is of his love towards me. So my husband would not leave. Even if he's going to the garage, I'm going to get a kiss on my mouth, and he's going to go, and then he's going to come back. And when he comes back, I'm going to get another one, you know? And that, I didn't think it would be such little things, but it's in the little things, and that's why I say it's different for everybody. Acts of service. My husband is one for surprises. I hate surprises, but his surprises are always so thoughtful, and like it makes you see that this person is constantly thinking of me, trying to make my life easier or trying to put a smile on my face. That is one of the things as well, but it's different for every person. You know what you want in a partner. So when you see those signs in a partner, also look at how a person reacts when you have an argument, how a person treats you when they're angry. Those are the things you need to look at. Do they talk it through? Do they treat you aggressively? Do they shut you out? Those are the things to look for in a marriage partner when you're dating. How did you know you were meant for each other? I think I knew when I looked back at my life and I could see the changes. My husband taught me how to hug my mother before I left home, or how to show affection, kiss my mother when I go visit at home, type of things. You know, the positive changes this person had in my life while we were dating. And I thought, well, if this is what happens while we're dating, and if this is how this person loves me, then surely I can't live without this love for the rest of my life. This is what I want for the rest of my life. For someone to love me right, for someone to teach me things. When I realized that this is the first person I want to tell when I stump my toe, or when I pass something at varsity, because we were dating when I was in varsity. That is when I knew that, okay, this is it. This is the one. What do you hate about your husband? Hate. Okay, I dislike a lot of things about my husband, and I think wives can concur with me. When you need something done, and you know husbands won't do it right there and then when you need it done, that's what I don't like. I also don't like that my husband is so spontaneous. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not. I also like to plan things. I'd like to know where I'm going, I'd like to know what to pack and all of that. And my husband can get up and say, let's go. And that creates a bit of anxiety for me. I hate that he sleeps so much. My husband is such a sleeper. I'm an early riser. I'm up 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock latest, and yeah, it's not nice that the other person is sleeping and I have to tiptoe and stuff. Like, okay, I don't like that he's such a sleeper. I'm not a sleeper, so. Oh, flatulent. Oh, my husband farts a lot. Ugh, I hate that. Like, honestly, in TMI, but yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about my husband. And farting makes me uncomfortable, makes me embarrassed even. I don't like even talking about it. So yeah, those are some of the things I dislike. What do you love about your husband? I love that my husband is big on gifts. I'm not used to it, but it's so nice. Like, it really is nice that he loves gifting. My husband is also one that likes to spend on us. I love that he's so responsible. My husband is very, very responsible. What do I love? I love that he listens to me. I talk a lot, so I think it can be draining for him, but I love that he will listen to me. Sometimes I think he's not listening, and then when the time comes and he acts and I'm like, wow, this guy was listening to me the whole time, you know? I like that my husband goes above and beyond for me when it comes to anything and everything in life. Like, he'll go above, he'll move mountains to make things happen. My husband is very supportive as well, and I like that he's such a point of comfort for me, and that is what I love about my husband. The list is endless. Favorite spots you love to visit, restaurant, vacation place. We haven't really started traveling a lot, but we do have a list of places we'd like to visit. So I think favorite place, a spot, or vacation place will come soon. Favorite restaurant, we like different things. I'm a meat eater. My husband is more of a fish person. But one thing we can agree on is sushi and Chinese food. That is a love for us. Like, you know, that is the go-to. So favorite restaurant / food, any place that has sushi, good sushi, and has Chinese food. Dream vacation place. Okay, this is also one of the ones where we don't agree, because most of the places I say I would like us to go to, my husband doesn't want to go to. Example, I want to go to Cancun in Mexico. My husband doesn't like the fact that there are drug cartels in Mexico. I want to go to the Victoria Islands in Nigeria. My husband is not a fan of Nigeria. But my husband is the adrenaline junkie, so he wants to visit places like Swakopmund and do the quad biking in the sand, and he wants to canoe and shoot guns and I think we've gotten to a place where we can each show interest in the things each people, like the other wants to do. I've shot a gun now because my husband wanted to go clay shooting, and I did that. We went canoeing because my husband wanted to go canoeing. Like, you know, we've reached that place where it's, oh, you want to do this? Okay, let's try it. If you promise me I'm not gonna die, then surely I can do it. How is the sex life after marriage? I was waiting for this question, and a lot of you asked this question. I think it was okay. Like, it was fine. We were doing okay until I had the baby, and yeah, no. Juggling all these things, motherhood, household, and it's kind of something that I realized it needs, like, you need to, like, they tell you, no, you need to write down your things, a to-do list for the week or whatnot. Put it on the to-do list. Not even say put it on the to-do list, but make time for it. Set aside time. Like, it's something you have to be intentional about. But yeah, but it's still good. The sex life is still good. It's just, you know, yeah, married people will tell you. Where did your husband propose? My husband didn't propose. What happened was, I had just finished my studies, and I was now at home looking for a job, and then I decided I need to come visit him. Now, I was in Mpumalanga and he was in Bloemfontein, so I took the bus and I came down to Bloemfontein. I think I stayed for 2 weeks, and then I went back home. And when I got back home, like, obviously the conversations and we're talking and my husband literally says to me, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm thinking, this guy's breaking up with me. No, I'm not breaking up with you, but I can't, this thing of you coming and you being here and me getting used to having the house warm and having someone to talk to or having warm cooked meals or someone to go out with and stuff like that, and then you're gone again. I can't do that anymore. I think it's high time. And I'm thinking, is this guy saying what I'm thinking he's saying? So I ran and I showed my mother the message, and my mother's like, but you're too young. Mind you, I was 24, 25. Yeah, somewhere around there. So yeah, that is how it happened. And 2 weeks later, we get the letter in the mail, and this guy ukupa sekhotamiti, and we went through the process of lobola and mahali, and you know, only after that then I came to visit him again in Bloem, and then he got me the engagement ring. Still didn't propose, we just went out for supper and he put it on my finger, and yeah, that's how it happened. How do you keep the love burning? How has marriage changed your relationship? Okay, how do we keep the fire burning? By being intentional, you know? We now know this person likes this, and this person feels fuzzy inside when you do this. So, you know, I know my husband is a breakfast person. Make a nice English breakfast on Saturdays. Let's eat together, you know. Put the baby down early. Let's watch a movie together. We started doing date nights during lockdown, you know, just to spend time with each other. We're now reading books together, which is also a nice thing. But spending a lot of time together, making sure we have time between us as a couple. Has marriage changed your relationship? I think we've gotten closer through marriage. The ups and downs and things. Honestly, I think the past 5 years, with its storms and things, has pushed us a lot closer together. Like, we're very close now. We're very, very close to each other now, and I think we have a better understanding of each other through the learning process, obviously. But I'm so grateful that we're closer. In terms of compromise, how much of yourself have you had to let go of? My star sign is a Cancer. So if you know, Cancers are like hard lovers. So initially I immersed myself like in my marriage. I was like all about marriage, all about husband and though it wasn't something I did on purpose, parts of me fell away, like passions and things, dreams and things. It was all about us. Just because you're married, you mustn't forget about you, like the things you wanted to do. Get back to those things, like, you know, we can accommodate. You have your things, you can have your things type of thing. Was it not difficult to manage or discuss finances as newlyweds? Obviously it is. Like, obviously it is. Problem for me was that I'm very independent. I don't like asking for money. I don't like asking for help either. Like, I don't like, you know, so I was very closed off and in my bubble, and if I needed anything, I would go to my mom. Here we go again. Is it true that in marriage the amount of times people dropped off decreases? It's an up and down. Like, it's never a constant, it's an up and down. Maybe this month you're having a lot of off. Maybe next month it's cold season, you know, there are seasons, winters and summers, autumns and springs, but it's an up and down. Bev, I can't believe you asked that. Do you ever feel the need for space? Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of just wanting a break from being a wife or from being a mother or whatever, and going out with the girls, letting the hair down, you know, that's the kind of space. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I think it's the human thing to want your space. It's just like taking leave from work. You need a rest, you need a break from doing work type of thing. So I think in marriage it's also the same. I do feel the need to sometimes have space. How did you make your man be financially responsible without being reminded for the baby? Because wow, month end. I'm grateful I didn't have to do that. He's very family orientated. Like, he doesn't even need to be reminded to do such things. So I don't, there isn't anything that I do. I think I just prayed. It's just like I prayed because I come from a family where that was a struggle. But God blessed me with a man who doesn't require like a reminder or require nudges so he can do things in the house or for the baby or whatever. No, it just happened. Like, that's the way it's always been, and that's how he is. He is like head of the family, head of the household in daughter. Like, I must provide. That's the type of person I married. So there wasn't anything that I had to do. Have you guys ever taken a break? No. We dated from 2011 until 2016 when we got married. We dated the whole time. And we got married in 2016, and we've been living together since 2015. So ever since, it's just been togetherness. How did you feel when he proposed? Initially, I was like, like I felt some type of way because it wasn't the big proposal and you know, that you see on TV with the flowers and you know. But then I appreciated because of the type of person he was. He didn't want to do that without having asked my parents for permission and having done things the proper traditional way, because it's a traditional man. So, but after the letter came and everything, I was very happy. Did you guys talk about marriage before getting married? Was it ever an awkward convo? Definitely yes, we did talk about marriage. I think about 2 years into the relationship we did speak about marriage, but also because of the planning type I was. I've done long-term relationships before, and I said to him, if I date you for 5 years and you don't speak up about your intentions, or you don't show, you know, plans to do the next step or whatever, then I'm walking away, because I can't imagine being with someone for 5 years and you still think you need time to get to know me or whatever before you know, maybe maslalisane or maybe we get married. No, brother. 5 years, if you don't show any eagerness to grow or to do something together, life partner situation or something, then I am walking away. The conversation was never awkward. I think at that time it was what he was also looking for. Like, he was also looking to settle down and the family thing. And I say that because it was something we would talk about, to a point where we even chose a name for our firstborn son. And that is my son's second name. Like, we picked that name while we were dating, and when the baby came, that is what his name was. I know there isn't any right method to marriage and love, but what keeps the sparks burning for you? Being realistic, knowing that it's not always going to be happy or whatever. We're going to have a bit of tension, we're going to have disagreements and whatever, but it's important to remember that it's not going to stay that way. Remember the happy times. If it's like a serious situation where you're having a serious disagreement, remember the happy times. That helps me a lot. Someone said this at my wedding and said there will be winters and there will be summers, you know. There will be rains and there will be droughts type of situation. So in the droughts and in the winters, like in the cold seasons, in the seasons of distress, I need to remember that my husband loves me. Regardless of what it is that we're going through, remember that my husband loves me. And I must also remember that I love this man. I chose to spend the rest of my life with this man. Everything is going to be okay. Have you guys ever had a moment where you didn't see your relationship working out? Yes, like definitely. Just because of a Facebook post, I misinterpreted, by the way. The picture had a caption, "Mommy and baby miss you," and it was his cousin with a baby. And I thought, nope, there's no way. I cannot subject myself to a guy with a baby mama. I am still too young for this. And I was ready to walk out type of situation. Any ex-girlfriend or boyfriend drama? Not necessarily. Like, it didn't happen when we were married. It happened when we were dating. There was a bit of ex-girlfriend drama, but it was dealt with. Like, fast, it was nipped in the bud. For me, there was an ex-boyfriend who was like lurking, or who would just pop up out of the blue. Like, when I got engaged and he somehow heard about it, then he would call and be on top. "You're sure you're making the right decision?" type of thing. And I'm like, yo, whatever. And then I got married, and this guy calls and he says, "You really got married?" And I'm like, yeah. And then I had a baby, and I think that's when it sunk in, because I've never gotten a call again since I've had the baby. So yeah, it wasn't really drama. What has the biggest challenge in your marriage been, and how did you overcome this? Closed channels of communication. And how we overcame it was, we tried to sit down and talk it through, you know. So what we did was, we would watch YouTube videos, we would watch sermons, we would read, or we would watch relationship-y kind of movies that we could discuss afterwards, just to try and open the lines of communication. What keeps you guys motivated as a couple? Most of the times it's looking back how far we've come. Like, looking back the past 10 years. We've been together for 10 years, dated for 5, married for 5. So looking back on how far we've come, laughing about like the silly stuff we used to do in the past, and seeing like the actual growth, that is something you need to do constantly, because that will remind you that if we put the work behind it, if we stick together, if, you know, we're constantly being intentional about loving each other, then things will just keep working out and we'll keep progressing. You're a beautiful couple. How do you guys manage your finances as a married couple? Oh, thank you, Pulani. So managing finances as a married couple, first things is to be open. So I know how much my husband earns. He knows how much I earn. Then we sat down, listed the debts, listed the liabilities, listed all of that, drew up a budget, and also discussed, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for that type of situation. And that is how we're managing. Reviewing constantly. I'm sitting and saying, oh, because this debt is done, maybe that money can go towards this, or, you know, being in a constant state of talking about it. oh yes, I've been praying for a car upgrade, or maybe we should look into getting a bigger house. Everything is done together, everything is discussed, and we're constantly like talking to each other about maybe we can do this so we can achieve that. So talk, writing it down, and proper planning as well. Do you advise no sex before marriage? Yes or no? How has it shaped your relationship? Honestly, I'm not going to say I'm going to advise anything because you guys are going to come for me, but personally, I did partake in sex before marriage. I wouldn't say I'm going to advise you no sex before marriage. The Bible says no sex before marriage. All I'm saying is don't judge anybody based on the decisions they made or what they did. And I'm talking about me. Don't judge me. I'm just sharing. Difficulties you faced in marriage. Loneliness, because I am sort of far away from my family. My mom's in Mpumalanga, my brother's in Joburg. We don't get to see each other as much as we would like to. So when I moved here, I was sort of clingy on my husband because he was the only person I knew here. And the only people I know in the Free State are people that are either related to him or people that I met through him. So I think it came from a place of fear that I wanted to withdraw from that, because should my husband and I ever split, these people are obliged to him because I met them through him and they're his family. Best thing about marriage, having someone by your side all the time. Even if they're not like physically or literally by your side, but having someone by your side all the time. And for me, it's having a problem solver in my pocket. Guys, I can have a problem, beauty related, YouTube related, anything, work related, whatever. My husband is the problem solver. Like, my husband will solve all of my problems, and that is also a very nice thing for me because I get frantic when I have problems. I get panicky. I'm not thinking straight. My husband will calm the situation and then give advice as to why don't you do this or why don't you do that. And advice for couple that look forward to getting married. Yes, listen, look forward to getting married. Be realistic about it. You must know that there are going to be good times, there are going to be bad times, and you need to embrace both. Learn from the bad times, celebrate, soak yourself and relish up in the good times, because I know they say marriage is hard. Marriage is what you make it. So if you're hard, if everything is hard for you and you don't see the positive out of things, then marriage is going to be hard for you. But look for the positives, Remind yourself constantly why you love this person, because sometimes you will feel like, banging someone with a vase upside the head because they're not acting right. But remind yourself, oh, okay, it's just a silly moment. It'll be okay, type of thing. But yeah, marriage is an amazing thing. Kumnandi kwa marriage, guys. It's so nice. I would totally recommend. Is marriage as hard as people make it out to be? No. I just feel like you have to be willing to constantly work at it, because today you could wake up and you could feel, oh, my marriage is perfect, and something happens and you need to work at that. Or tomorrow you feel, oh, we're perfect, we're in a good space, and then something happens and you need to work at that. So it's a constant, you need to constantly work on it. Do you believe there is a soulmate for everyone? Yeah, I think so. Honestly, I do think that there is like a soulmate for everyone. I believe, it's like puzzle pieces. God made a puzzle piece for everybody. A person where you can slot in and feel like, where have you been my whole life? Do you believe in don't go to bed angry? Now I do. I don't go to bed angry anymore. It's not nice because you can't even sleep in the bed because hanzo wajika. It's, Do you believe in the love language concept? Yes, I do. Knowing your love languages and explaining that to your partner will make things so much better, because then they know what you need, like how you need to be loved. Looking back on your wedding day, is there anything you'd do differently? I would persuade my mother to let me get ready at the venue, because the photographers were at the venue already, and so I don't have pictures of me and my bridesmaids getting ready and doing all of that. So before I close off this video, I would like to raise a glass to Mr. and Mrs. M. I wish us a prosperous next 5 years, next 15 years, next 50 years together. I hope there'll be plenty more little feet running around in our home. I hope God will prosper us in marriage and every other aspect of our lives. And I am so blessed and fortunate to have such a wonderful husband to the end. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment, like, and share. And I will see you next time in my next video.